Well, this is Skipper.
This is Darius.
And this is the inaugural episode of Project Red Valley.
Yes.
Would you like to explain to the people what exactly that is?
Yeah, sure. So Project Red Valley is going to be a sideshow. It won't be as consistent as 𝗕𝗲𝗵𝘁, and 𝗕𝗲𝗵𝘁 isn't really that consistent in the first place.
That tells you how often we'll be doing this.
Yeah, this is, if I had to really say, a once-a-year thing type of deal. Yeah. Maybe twice a year. It's more of a special than anything. It's basically just a more experimental version of 𝗕𝗲𝗵𝘁. We'll be testing out new things on this show.
Yeah, like, I'm sure you've already noticed, there's a video for this one.
Yeah,
we spent way too long trying to get the lighting and the angles set up perfectly for that.
But it was worth it.
So yeah, that's what we'll be doing here, just trying out new things.
Yeah.
Yeah, having some fun with it.
And honestly, it's the podcast about nothing.
Yeah.
Or about everything, depending on what your views are in the world.
Is that light flickering to you?
It's fine.
Alright.
Alright.
Well, we don't really have a topic. This was mostly just a test run for the new project.
Yeah.
So we've just got a little list of things that we felt, why not talk about them? Number one, the stuff.
Yeah. What was that, 3 weeks ago when we watched that show?
Something like that.
Yeah, that was, or not that show, that movie, my bad. 1985, I think it was.
You want to explain what the stuff is?
Spoiler alert. You don't need it for this movie.
No, you don't.
It's in the trailer. So it begins. First of all, let me explain why I was watching this stuff.
All right.
I got home from a long day at work. I sat down on the couch and I got Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime got a good selection of shitty 80s movies. And, you know, I do like those type of movies. I don't know why, I just do. This movie just happened to be one of those ones that I just didn't like. It wasn't that great.
And so later on,
I watched it. I clicked on it. I just saw it. And honestly, I clicked on it because I just like the posters. Like, 80s posters are pretty cool, if you ask me.
The poster for the movie is pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool... It looks like a Goosebumps book, honestly. Yeah. Just like the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
I clicked on it. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really watch a trailer or anything. In fact, I didn't even have a trailer because you click on. I did click on the trailer thing,
and it just shows
you a clip. Yeah, there is no trailer on the thing. By the way, guys, if you want to watch it, it is on Amazon Prime. Shout out to that. I'm pretty sure you don't want to after this description, though. The movie starts off with an old man walking in a very.
We'll get back to that in just a second.
Okay.
He watched it and then decided, let me rewatch it, but make Skipper watch it with me.
Okay, well, I didn't watch all of it at that point. I only watched up to, I passed out during it. Okay. I woke up during it. I remember Mo, freaking the fuck out, and that's it, and then I went to bed. That was it. Yeah. I went upstairs, and I was done. I was like, all right, I'm not watching the rest of this. Well, I clearly was... That was a lie. I ended up watching it the next day. The movie starts off with an old man walking in a very snowy place, but yet it was what, Georgia? This was.
I believe it was supposed to take place in Georgia.
So unless it was a lot colder back then, the movie's already starting off pretty wacky. It looked like Antarctica, basically. It looked like they were mining stuff in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Or at least Alaska or something like that. It was very snowy. Anyway, the guy was walking. He sees this bubbling white. What's the name? What was the name of that? Mellow, what is the mushroom?
Just like
marshmallow.
Marshmallow fluff.
Is that what it's called? Just marshmallow fluff. It looked like that. Just not even looked like that. It just looked like hot milk. Just boiling hot milk. And he's like,
this old man just decides.
He's like, I'm gonna go ahead and try that. He was like, I don't know. He didn't even
Did he have gloves on?
No.
Did he have to take off a glove?
No, he didn't have to take off a glove. He just straight up picked it up. It's the equivalent of me walking outside and seeing white dog shit, and you're like, wow. That looks very tasty. I wonder what white dog shit tastes like.
He just dips his finger in it. Doesn't even smell it. Just.
It's good. Yeah,
Then a buddy comes up, says,
"Yo, taste this." He's like, "I'm not tasting that from the ground." And he's like, "No, taste it." And he's like, "Okay." And he just changed his mind. He changed his mind instantly, and I just, okay. That's the beginning of the movie. That's already, that's it. That's right there. That's it. And then I don't even think it has a title card. It just goes straight to a little, what was it, that little kid? I don't even remember his name. But his family is just addicted to the stuff. And okay, so let me not get too far into this without explaining what happens. Is basically, what was it? He starts selling the stuff as a product, or
he sells, I believe, the idea or like the location
to a bigger
of
company.
Yeah.
He's out of the picture at that point, and then the
stuff became like a global phenomenon
called The Stuff,
or at least
they literally call it The Stuff in the movie. They're not real creative with
it's
it.
0 calories, 0 sugar, will fill you up.
Yeah,
comes in pints.
And then it goes to this boy where his family is just addicted to the stuff.
Yeah,
it's a great example of just showing how it's taken over the world. Or at least America. Does it show any other parts of the world?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
This
is how much I care about the movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of the plot. I just remember the strong points. Then we get Mo Money. Or Mo Money. Mo. I call him Mo
I don't
Money.
remember what his actual name is.
Would you care to explain Mo?
Alright. He's Southern, and you can tell because he wears cowboy boots.
Who wears a suit with cowboy boots.
Yeah. He's
a yuppie cowboy.
Yeah. He's some kind of agent. He's ex-FBI. They don't really get into his backstory too much, but they call him Mo because when you give him money, he wants Mo.
He always wants Mo. And if the beginning hasn't already made you turn off the movie, I feel like that part might.
That was rough.
After that, it's really even more downhill. You run into what was his name?
Chocolate Chip Charlie.
Chocolate Chip Charlie, which is played by I forgot his name, but he was included in the very early seasons of SNL. I did watch some early SNL on my free time. Obviously, I wasn't alive during that time, but from what I did see, it did have Bill Murray. I don't think Eddie Murphy was a part of it yet. It had Dan Aykroyd. It was classic cast, you know. He had a pretty big name in SNL, and again, this isn't doing much because we don't know his name, so I'm not going to go too deep into him. But anyway, Chocolate Chip, what
Charlie.
Charlie.
His fists are weapons.
How is he coming to the picture again? He's walking down the street. Mo's walking down the street and just jumps out of nowhere from like.
That's later on down the movie.
Yeah.
Mo's investigating someone's house, walks over to I believe, abandoned car, and Charlie leaps over the car.
At first, I thought he was on the stuff.
Yes.
I mean, clearly that's what they were going for.
When you eat this stuff, you become more aggressive.
Yes.
And then this stuff will apparently eat you from the inside out.
Some of the practical effects in this movie aren't too bad. I mean, yes, they're cheesy, but they're kind of cool for the time. And then you just have to expect a movie, that's almost 40, 35-ish in that area.
Yeah.
Not to have, the best effects. But then again, practical effects are, in my opinion, superior than CGI. So I did like the effects. I still like Street Trash better, though. The effects from Street Trash.
I haven't watched that movie, but the two scenes you showed me, the effects were pretty good.
They are pretty good for a very low budget movie. Not even. I don't even think they had like $1,000 probably.
That was legit just people melting like covered in paint.
That was crayons.
Crayons.
Melted crayons. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe it was melted crayons. I might be butchering that up. I don't know. I believe I read it was butchered crayons. I discovered that movie from Watch Mojo, man.
So do we want to keep going with the plot, or do we want to explain to the people why we care about the stuff?
Well, first of all, let's explain how the stuff ends. The overall plot of the stuff. That way we can explain why we are talking about the stuff.
So the movie ends with Mo, some kid, and the media manager who apparently made the campaign that got this stuff as big as it is.
Yeah.
By
the way, the stuff grows. It's it's a marshmallow fluff. It just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah.
They go to the big mine in, it was Georgia.
Yes.
And they blow it up. A bunch of rock ends up in it. One of the executives just kind of tells them that's not going to stop the production. It seeps out of the earth, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then Mo holds the two CEOs at gunpoint, has the kid give them the stuff, and just kind of holds them at gunpoint, making them eat that, which is essentially making them kill themselves. And then the end credits.
Yeah, there is a post-credit scene.
I mean, post-credit scene, it's just a lady saying, like, it's good, or I don't quite remember what she said. But right before the credits, you've got some, like, hoodlums and whatnot. They've got a briefcase just full of the stuff.
Probably just empty cans. Just like the grocery store scene.
Yeah, there's a scene in the movie, you got the grocery store, kids throwing a tantrum, knocking it all off the shelves. At several points, you can tell they just knocked over a bunch of empty containers because lids popped off. The inside of that container is completely clean. It's garbage. But the end of the movie shows that even though they did destroy, like, the main factory, that the stuff still exists. It's
most
still
of the
out there.
budget, the reason why those cans are empty is because most of it, they wanted to go to the end of the movie. They definitely used miniatures at the end, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely the case. So yeah, just movie about...
that is that one spot with the bad green screen.
Yeah, there's a scene where the kid goes into the truck because he's hiding. Like, a pump
sorry.
truck.
2 scenes with bad green screen.
What was the first one again?
When it, like, explodes out, like, the side of the mountain is rushing down and it just kind of, like, fades out at one point.
Yeah. I remember that. I was talking about the scene where the kid gets into the pump truck.
Yeah.
Where they put all into the container. And as they're pumping it in there, the stuff is just... You know that feeling where you can't even really describe a green screen, like how bad it is? Because it's just like, you can tell it's not real.
The kid's proportions weren't right to where he should have been in that tank.
You can just tell it wasn't. It was bad. So basically the story is basically a parasite.
Yeah.
Growing, people eating it, thinking... And, also I had a theory about it, thinking about it, even though you really shouldn't think too deep in these movies because it's just them having fun or also just trying to make a quick buck. Was the growing idea of health back then, like how foods were slowly switching into being healthier, and like science was growing about the whole entire health movement.
Yeah,
people were trying to get more fit.
So the health food's gonna kill you.
Yeah, I don't know, probably not. But I was thinking, I was like, maybe there's some correlation between that because there was a huge change back then from the 70s to the 80s about the whole entire what you eat and whatnot, even though back then is way not true now today, because they used to think that fat was just going to completely kill you.
I mean, some people still think that.
Let's not get into that. Yeah. All right, let's talk about why we want to talk about stuff.
So why we care about the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we want to go about this? Give them the original idea and what it's become?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so our original plan was to simply, on a probably roughly equal budget, if not slightly less. Actually, that was made by a pretty big production company, so it had a decent budget. But for a much less budget, make a much better movie based on the same premise.
Mm-hmm.
You got a detective going around trying to figure out what the stuff is, how it happened, getting it to stop. Just nice, simple story. We're going to do it for cheap and better.
Yeah.
And at that point, we were just going to call it The Stuff again, weren't we? Like at the beginning?
We were going to just completely...
just rip it off.
Just a remake.
Yeah.
It was literally just a remake. Just called The Stuff.
A reimagining.
Yeah, except there was no... And there still isn't in what we are still thinking of what we're doing with it. There was no white stuff in it.
Yeah, it's just like a molecule or a chemical that gets put into other foods in ours.
Although that didn't mean that we just completely got rid of that.
Yeah.
Nah. No. I don't really remember what the steps, like how it developed over time. I know we've had multiple versions of what we wanted it to do.
I floated the idea of it being a like sequel or prequel to the project you had working on the side.
Yeah.
And then we decided, no, this movie's gonna suck too much to be
even
dealing with that.
The other one, yeah.
But then I think that put the idea in our head, well, we can make a prequel to this stuff instead of a remake of this stuff.
Right.
And then we were like, why stop there? Let's make a sequel too.
Right. And already I do feel like the prequel is better than the other two would be.
Yes.
Yeah. We would remake the stuff as well. Or maybe, at least. We were planning on doing a modern day version of it.
Yeah, move everything up to our time period just to make filming easier.
Right. Not that we don't want to have it set back then. I think it would be cooler, but
Yeah.
But it's easier to film in a modern day setting.
Yeah.
Especially because if you're walking outside, you see like a fucking Tesla pass by. There's something not right there in that scene. Back to the Future, is it?
I didn't know they had Teslas in the 80s.
They must have. Hey, Tesla.
So the first movie, the title we came up for it was Nescient.
Nescient, yes.
Which
to be unknown.
Yeah, and it was going to be is going to be, might be. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see how
it's just a concept.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
but
without spoiling anything, at least.
Let's see. It would be a psychological horror.
Right. This
would be like our original remake of this stuff idea. Like, there's no white stuff in this movie. It is purely a bacteria or chemical that was found somewhere and then mass produced into these other products.
We did inject a lot more actual science into it. More realism. Not real hardcore science, of course.
Yeah, we're not going hardcore with this. NASA would not approve.
No. But you can watch it without cringing.
Hopefully,
right? That's the goal. Also, it's a lot more serious.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more actual emotion into it, and there isn't no Mo. Mo is not part of the first one.
Mo is no Mo.
But we would have Mo in the sequel, or at least, I don't know if we would be calling him Mo, but someone will represent Mo.
Yes.
And Mo won't be calling himself Mo. In fact, we could probably change it to Bo or something like that. And he won't be saying Mo Money.
No.
Also, you would get rid of the man, seeing the stuff on the ground. That wouldn't happen.
Awful beginning. We're getting rid of that. So, the prequel, Nescient.
Yeah.
I don't want to explain too much about what it is, but like I said, it's just in food, and there is a Mo-like character. No. This was the one we were just kind of following various people, seeing the effects of it, right?
Right. Well, no, there would have been a main character.
It was the old guy, right?
No, the old guy would. And if anybody's wondering, we haven't talked about this like in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
this is
all work talk. So
we haven't written any of this down.
No, it's like I said, just all concept.
Yeah.
Pretty good for a concept, though, in my opinion. Old Man, can't really tell you what it is on here specifically, but Old Man would not be the main character at all. He's just a side character. Main character would have been just a normal Joe, possibly a worker of the company that was working with this enzyme.
Yeah, sure.
It would have been a gut enzyme. All right, I'm going to stop myself right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop myself right there.
So,
if this does
a worker of the company is the main character of the first one, and he's just noticing the side effects.
Right. Because he's dealing with this. It's more of a, if I had to compare it, the stuff would have been a third-person video game, and this is a first-person video game.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in the eyes. You're seeing what's going on. You're not fucking Mo.
You're not trying to figure out,
hey, what's going on with everybody.
Government conspiracy.
You're more focused on, hey, man, is this guy going to be okay? You're not even focusing on people around him because he's dealing with himself.
Like, in the background, people will slowly be losing it as well.
Right, but you're not focused on that.
No.
Because he's not even noticing it. And also, if I honestly... The plot will be basically based on is this real? What's going on around him? Is it real or is it just in his head? Because, Yeah. It's hard to talk about it because we can't really reveal a lot of it.
Anyway, moving on to the sequel, which would be essentially our reimagining of the stuff.
Which we got rid of the stuff name.
Yes, it's no longer called the stuff. I don't think the product itself has a name yet. No. But the movie would be called Fatal Demand. Yes.
A lot more living up to its original entitlement. Oh, man. Nescient to Fatal Demand definitely doesn't sound like the same series.
No, it doesn't.
Nescient sounds like it's on the bar of maybe of a...
That sounds like trippy.
Nescient?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds more modern.
Yeah. Fatal Demand sounds 80s.
Yeah, it sounds... yeah. It does, but
sounds like an 80s action movie.
Fatal Demand, featuring Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
No, I was thinking more Bruce Willis.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I can see more Bruce Willis, with a like I don't know.
I'm imagining Cars,
Just cars, just like Mad Max, basically a ripoff of Mad Max.
but like
With
in this
drugs in Florida,
modern life
Miami.
city. Yeah,
Just Fatal Demand. I honestly, first thing that comes to my head is a movie about coke.
I can see it.
But hey, you never know. We might be hinting some stuff at you guys right now. The movie could be about coke.
So yeah, Fatal Demand. That's just our reimagining of the
It's
stuff.
not about coke.
No.
No, it's not.
And then moving on to the third one, which I cannot remember the title.
There is no title.
Okay.
It's untitled. We can't even reveal the plot of the third one because it goes past the.
Oh, that'd be a spoiler of the second one.
It would be.
But yes, sir.
It's.
We've turned this one crappy 80s movie into a trilogy.
Yes.
It's like The Hobbit.
No, it's not. Not even close.
Except the source material for The Hobbit is way better.
Debatable. No, it is. Don't know if I'd be proud to have my name on this project, but you know,
It's on there.
it's on there. If it becomes a thing, if it honestly doesn't, I'm willing to just blow all the info onto this podcast or Blue Room Insight or something like that eventually.
If we decide we're never going to do this, so be it. We'll give all our plot details away.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna become a thing, but there's a chance it might.
Yeah.
A good 4%. You play that new Call of Duty?
I have.
You like it?
It's different. Zombies, I love zombies.
All my friends only play zombies. They all say the multiplayer sucks.
I'm not gonna say it sucks. It's definitely different. It's not as gritty. It's not as heavy as Modern
I
Warfare.
prefer Modern Warfare. The killing is way better in Modern Warfare. I'm going to be honest with you. I like killing people in Modern Warfare more.
What about it makes it better for you?
It's a click. You just it's dead. And the new one, it's and he's not even dead. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I played a game with Daniel.
Yeah.
He wasn't a big fan of it either. He and Derek. None of these people know what those guys are, and people know Daniel, but not Derek. Everybody uses a sniper online. They love the quickscope online.
Doesn't even matter the map. Like these
No,
guys are just
this
gonna
is like
pull,
a trend. This is a new now.
These guys are just gonna
Too
pull around, go bang.
young to remember Modern Warfare 1.
I never played 1. I played 2 though.
And I know 2 was known for its snipers. Like
Yes.
2 was bad when it came to campers. It was mostly camping, but
Yeah.
you had Terminal. Terminal, you probably don't remember Terminal. It was the airport map.
Yeah.
It's extremely bad with campers.
Oh. I played online a couple times with it. I didn't actually
Way
own the
back
game.
then.
I played it at a friend's house. But
It came out in 09. That's right.
yeah.
Modern Warfare 2. Black Ops came out in 10.
I didn't play Black Ops as much. I've played zombies a couple times with like Daniel and Matt, but haven't done too much with that.
I do like the zombies in this one. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
does remind me of World War II zombies. Some people might not like World War II zombies, but I do like World War II zombies.
I enjoyed World War II zombies.
It might be a guilty pleasure. I never really talk about zombies with anybody else when it comes to Call of Duty. My friend John does like World War II zombies as well. I wasn't a big fan of Black Ops 4 zombies. I know you haven't played that because I've talked about it with you before.
That was the one with Hasselhoff, right?
No, that's Infinite Warfare zombies.
Okay.
No one likes that one. I do. Okay, I slightly like it, but that is a hardcore guilty pleasure. That's just because when I had free time, and I was like 16 when it came out, I think.
All right.
So yeah, I had free time.
You played
then.
it a lot.
When I wasn't doing homework or I wasn't hanging out with friends. The few friends I had, I did play that game. I played other games too, but I'll play that game every once in a while. I did like Spaceland just purely for the way how it looked and the fact that it had a soundtrack playing in the background the whole time.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you knew that or not, but you're running around an amusement park and while you're running around, there's music playing.
Yeah, I think you told me that.
Which is cool. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite zombies. World War II, in my opinion, beat that easily. It had a full-on horror element to it.
So going back to World War II.
Yeah.
I prefer like the zombies themselves from World War II. Just like
I like the way they look in World War II way better. It's more realistic and more gory and scary. And I don't like the glowing eyes in the new one.
They move slightly slower in that one too.
In World War II?
Yeah.
They do.
At least
I remember they were more in hordes instead of just all over the place.
Yeah. In the new one, I prefer the map of Cold War over the World War II map though.
Well, they seem like they would go together.
Kind of, yeah. I can see that.
They're both in snowy areas. They both involve World War II. Because you have to remember, those are World War II soldiers.
Yeah, yeah.
Or at least I believe they are.
Yeah, they
are.
Because they revived
that's
Nazis.
The same map from World at War, which is World War II. I don't know if it's canon, though, with actually it being like that, like from the first one.
I believe it is, but don't quote me on that.
Have you ever played... what is it called? People are getting pissed off right now. I don't remember the name of that one. I'm not going to even try. I just know it starts with the N, or no, maybe not.
I don't know.
I just know it's a foggy map. I do remember playing that one when it first came out. My dad was like, yo, check this out. And zombies, and I was like, this isn't Call of Duty. That one was fun. It's all foggy outside the building. And then they tried to bring that map back in Black Ops 2, which if you never, I don't think you know anything about Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is like a favorite of a lot of people's. I don't know about zombies, but just multiplayer was a big deal back then. But back to zombies. Yeah, the map is like an open world. So you can get on a bus and drive around. All the maps are connected in that one, which is cool. I thought that was really cool. So you can either walk, which
so like balls. DLC maps.
Yeah.
So like you buy DLC and it just expands the current map.
No, it gave it all to you for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then if you bought a map, how it worked is a globe. It was like a big burning globe.
Okay.
And then you had the transit map, which was the big map, and then if you bought more maps, it goes around the globe.
Okay.
But transit, the one I'm talking about, you can either walk, which if you walked, it's gonna be a lot harder because there's like these little baby demons that jump on you and you gotta knife them, or you can take a bus. But the guy on the bus, like it's kind of like a trap. Like all these zombies are gonna break in it, and if they're all in there, you're screwed. So you have to rebuild the windows on the bus and all that, and that's all fun. But anyway, there's a cornfield on the map, and if you can get through the cornfield, you can get to that map, that building. And it's different because it's all kind of like on fire, but it's not really. The map's on fire basically.
Yeah.
But that's that interpretation of it, like as if it was in a cornfield. I don't know if that's still the canon version, or if the new one is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they're still going with it's in a cornfield.
It's the same building, but you're not sure if it's still canon from the original or not.
Right. Well, then again, Black Ops 2 takes place in 2025.
Okay, well.
So it might all be canon. They might have gotten rid like sometime in the story. I don't play zombies that much. I've only played. Look, I'm talking about Spaceland Zombies earlier, okay? That just shows how much I play zombies. Yeah. I like that one, and if I played all the other ones, I probably would have hated that one. But, sorry, my throat's dry. Black Ops 2 zombies, or my bad, Cold War, there's that big plane on the outside. Is that a plane?
The crash plane?
The crash plane. And then, yeah, you know what? I think it can be. Because there's a fence, and that fence I believe is in Black Ops 2 too, like the fence that the
like barriers. The boundary fence.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta look at it again. It would help. I hit the mic right there. It would help if you played it too, because then you would have known what I'm talking about. Why? That's what Daniel was here for, though. He's not here though, but that would have been nice to have him because he knows what I'm talking about. Oh, man.
All right, moving on. Pick a number 1 through 5.
4.
4? We're on Dog Police.
Oh, Dog Police?
Yep. Ooh. So, do we want to talk about the band, the song, or the album first?
They're all Dog Police.
I know.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Whenever someone says Dog Police to you, what's the first thing that pops in your head? Is that actually the first thing that pops in your head? What's the first image that pops in your head?
I think you know the first image.
Is it just the dog, the actual police dogs?
Yes.
The dog police in the video that are running around?
Yeah.
What are they doing in the video? I don't remember.
I think they were like
chasing women?
It was specifically that one dog lady.
Yeah, it was. And that makes it even creepier. Don't like that. That's probably one of my least favorite songs of all time. I discovered that from a video. I was watching a video about Mexican radio, which I'm not even going to get into that. That's a whole other thing. And then it was mostly just talking about MTV videos.
Yeah.
And it mentioned dog police. And honestly,
it's been a burden on our life since you found out about it.
I found out about dog police 4 months before that. 5 months before that.
Before you showed it to me?
Yes. So I don't know why, but I did remember it for some reason that day. When we were cooking. And then I showed you the video. I'm kind of vaguely remembering it. I showed you the video, or I mentioned dog police to you, and you looked confused, like dog police. And maybe you were thinking of Doug police for a minute there.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, dog police. The police, in my opinion, are good. Dog police is doo-doo. Complete dog shit. And now let me go in and say that dog police is actually kind of similar to what we're doing right now. They're basically, it's a side project to an actual band. Or is it a band?
Yeah, it was I believe it was like a technical jazz group.
That makes real music.
Yes.
Music that could be respected by people. Yeah. It's not a guilty pleasure at all. If you listen to it, I see more of an intellectual.
I can vibe to it.
Yeah, like it's something that I'm not gonna be like, hey.
But yeah.
What's your taste in music?
They decided to make a second band called Dog Police and just blow off some steam.
I wonder what do you think, who came up with that idea in the band? Just like when they're like just playing some jazz one day, and they're just like, you know, and then they stop playing it, and you're like, yo. And everybody's like, yo. And it's like, they're probably on ecstasy. And they're just like...
Dog Police.
Yeah. You like dogs? And stuff like, you like jazz. Yeah. You like dogs? And the other one's like, you like police?
There we go.
Dog police.
Hey man, I think you're onto something.
I'm just imagining that 70s show, like the circle.
Nah man, we're all on something.
Nah, that's more LSD. That sounds just like pot. I don't know what ecstasy sounds like.
I don't know.
Whoa! I don't know what ecstasy would sound like. That's kind of a good thing, though. I'd like to think so. I know.
So, yeah. So we're abandoning Dog Police there. That's all of that.
You don't want to describe this song? People can look it up, but I don't advise it.
I could play a clip of it.
Feel free. Yeah. While you're doing that, I'm going to grab some water.
All right. Let's see. Dog Police.
Do you think we can get copyrighted from this?
We're not making money off of it. We're just using this for... This is essentially us just listening to the music. No one's donating us money. No one's paying for it. I hope you're not paying for this.
Somebody remastered it, apparently. Or digitalized it. Alright, that's enough. You can turn it off now. That was off the album of...
That was off the album Dog Police by the band Dog Police with their hit single, Dog Police.
That was their hit single. That was apparently...
I've never heard any of their other songs.
Well, no, you heard 1-800.
Oh, apparently this album got remastered in 2009.
A lot of things did. 1-800, remember?
Yeah.
They have that telephone song. Ring, ring, ring. Not 1-800 by Logic. That's probably a way better song than this.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't listen to it, but I can listen to that compared to the other one. I don't know. I've been told that I did a bad thing by telling you about that because people talk about like, yo, yeah, Skipper told us about dog police, and I'm just like, ooh, I feel that.
Yeah.
I don't pull that guy out until I'm actually bored.
Yeah.
If I have something to talk about, I'm not talking about dog police. But if it's a boring day, I'm going to talk about dog police.
So you're saying this
I want to
is
hear
boring?
Alex Jones talk about dog police.
Perfect segue into our next topic.
Alex Jones.
Oh boy. What a guy. What a legend.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't even know what to say about him.
He needs help.
Yeah. I watched the Joe Rogan. I do like Joe Rogan's podcast. Yeah. I've seen the episodes with Alex Jones with Joe Rogan. I find them entertaining. But he does get off on these topics that I just lose him. Like, I'm just like, what is he talking about? He's talking about frogs going gay. China creating human pig hybrids. He did talk about that. You probably never heard of that one. I'm not even going to mention Sandy Hook because I don't know what that's all about. He said that he was just going off. I'm not even going to mention that. That's too controversial for this.
I think didn't he get sued for that comment?
Yeah, he did, and I think it's still going on now. His mental health has declined.
Yes.
And very fast. It went from just this to that real quickly, and that's not uphill. That's downhill.
This man is digging rabbit holes inside rabbit holes.
I watch him for the memes. If I'm having a bad time, I watch that. I know I want to hit you.
Get over here.
Get over here. Ah, man.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I'm not saying he's completely like a lunatic or anything, but he definitely needs some kind of mental health.
I'm wondering if it's just all fake. Just for the attention.
Just like putting on a show?
Yeah. Like, I'm honestly sometimes feeling that, but I don't think so. Because from the Joe Rogan experience, he definitely seems like he's sticking... He brings his own documents. So, he's working 24/7. He looks beat down. I remember him talking about, like, him having to... He just... I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, because the only way to describe it is if you're Alex Jones.
A psychotic episode?
No. Yeah. You talk about, like, him being in a dream, and the dream felt like it was, like, years and years and years, and, like, he was, like, on a farm and all that, and then he's like, Joe. that was pretty, actually.
That was pretty good.
Joe, I got it. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. It's cringy. There's not much to say about him, really. Yeah. The memes are funny. What was I gonna say? He does like the conspiracy stuff, but a little too much. We dive into conspiracies on Blue Room Insight, but we are definitely, from my opinion,
we can keep it sane. We can keep it level.
We know when to stop. We know where to stop digging. Daniel's made his jokes about he knows he shouldn't dig too deep into it. About, like, the moon, there was no need to go into the whole entire... Some of it was just complete trash. A lot of our podcasts and we haven't really done too much conspiracies, but we throw away a lot of what we read because we know that...
we're just reading it and we're like, this is garbage.
Yeah, we're not going to use that.
We can fact check it ourselves.
Men in
and
Black had a lot of that.
Did it?
Yeah, Men in Black on our... also our other spin-off of Blue Room Insight. This isn't really a spin-off. This is its own thing. But Blue Room Insight has a spin-off, Midnight Climax. You've heard of some of it.
I haven't been on any of those episodes yet.
No, that's just... we had a Men in Black one, and a lot of it's just... And I did read a lot of it off Reddit, but a lot of it you can kind of tell it's just creepypasta stuff. and there is like hardly any information on
very
Black.
vague, not a lot of facts.
No, not at all, and that's why it was hard to do that one because we like to stick to the facts. We don't really we do like to experiment off into other areas that people.
What we think might have happened,
Yeah.
what we kind of want to have happened, but at the end of the day, our conclusions are going to be based on the facts that are publicly available to us.
Yes, I did like Midnight Climax though, because a lot of that stuff did sound very true, but it was out there. It was completely out there. Like I honestly, without the sources, I would have not believed it.
It was plausible, but it was a bit insane.
It sounded fictional.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into. Yeah, you know, fuck it, I will go into it.
All right, let's. I wasn't involved in that one. Let's go.
I gotta remember. A lot of it. That's a lot of information. I did get what got me into Midnight Climax was again the Joe Rogan experience that clearly has an influence on me. I watched it and I was like, hey, we should research into that because not a lot of people, or at the time, not a lot of people were really going deep into the Manson stuff. I mean, they've always have, but not like into that route where he was working for. I don't have the names anymore. That's the thing. The names are the big part, but he basically. What was one of the things is this guy, the one that made the book. Don't remember the book, but if you guys want to know the information on any of this stuff, it's on Blue Room Insight, Midnight Climax. Don't remember what episode it is.
I'm just gonna say like 15. Sure.
No, it's probably 16. 14 was Mothman.
What was 14 Mothman?
Well, 14 was Mothman.
Then I think Midnight Climax might be 15. I don't remember.
No, 15 was Annalise.
That's right.
Don't want to talk about that one. That one was,
we're done with that.
Maybe I will talk about it after this because I do have some bad experiences with that one. Yeah, they he had a lot of documents on Charles Manson's like him being released on bail and all that stuff. Like he had like the actual documentation of him being in jail and whatnot, and he would be released from jail for things that you would think that would have kept him in there for longer, you know?
Yeah.
It just didn't seem right. And the person that was bailing him out, his parole officer, he seemed like he was in on it too.
So there's someone pulling strings to keep him out.
Pulling strings. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this a lot because I just don't remember it that well.
It's been a few months.
It's been 5 months, man. Almost half a year. He was supplying the drugs to the Manson family, and that was just one big project of Midnight Climax. Not really Midnight Climax, just 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗃 in general. Midnight Climax more centered around people getting pulled into these houses for sex, and instead of them really having sex, or they might have, they had the like glass or one-way mirrors, and people would just be watching them, and the guy will come in to have a good time, and the woman will give him like a funny cigarette, and he'll smoke it, and then he'll just start, losing his shit, and people will just be documenting it. That's bad, though. The fact that we know the government was doing that.
Just human trials on psychedelics.
Sleazy people. Yeah. Seedy people. Yeah. That's Midnight Climax, and that's literally, and one thing that we found out that was very interesting is 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗃 isn't just 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗃. 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗃 is just a big broad name for a lot of projects that they had.
Is it?
It's just, it branches out into like these subjects. Midnight Climax was just like one. It's basically just if I had to describe it, a method of 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗃.
All right.
I don't know any of the other ones really that much because we didn't.
So really 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗃 is like the overarching project, and then you've got the subcategories.
Right, and now I'm not an 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗃 enthusiast. I don't,
I don't condone.
I don't say that everything I say is necessarily the facts, but from what I remember, yes. Charles Manson involved in 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗃. That's all I can really say.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to butcher anymore. It's on the Midnight Climax podcast episode if you want to check that out.
Both 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗃 and
Midnight Climax. Yeah, it is centered around Midnight Climax, but we had to dive into 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗃.
Yeah.
So if you like stories of mid 20th century government
conspiracies,
that's your episode. Annalise Michel, that one was recommended by me. I wanted to do more of a horror.
I remember Daniel had like a weird feeling leading up to that one.
A weird feeling. He is, without really going too deep into him, because I don't want to just like start talking about him on here. But yeah, he just had, and this is a thing that a lot of people feel. They don't like to tap into subjects like that because we don't know about stuff like that. I'm not the most religious person in the world, but sometimes I'll have those moments where, like, maybe, you know. It was mental health that scared me, though. The mental health part. The fact that what your mind could do to you.
Yeah, not necessarily that, she might have been possessed.
No,
that's what's creepy.
That's not what's scary. The fact that your mental health could get so bad.
You think you have 6 different guys in you.
Yes, that is fucking terrifying. And that can happen to anybody. Doesn't matter what your background is. If something bad happens to your head, like you injure yourself, like literally anything bad happening to your head, could lead to some type of triggered schizophrenia.
It doesn't even need physical damage.
No.
If there's a chemical hormonal imbalance, things like that can happen.
Yes. And that is what definitely got to me. At the time, I was driving a lot at night because it was the summertime, and we were starting to leave more at night every single day, and I was
leaving the store at like 11 at night every single night.
I remember I did drive to Jacksonville more around that time because John didn't leave yet.
Yeah.
So, but there were nights where I would just be driving and I'll be kind of like...
And
I would be listening to videos about her, and the recordings were not so great either. You remember the recordings?
I remember a few
her
of them.
talking in, what was it? Latin? Was it Latin? Did we disprove it was Latin?
I know... So, obviously, there was German. She was German. I think it was Latin.
Yeah, but it wasn't so scary because they actually taught Latin back then in Germany. I know Matt didn't feel good about it either. You were probably the only one there just like...
I tend not to delve too deeply into like possessions or demons and that kind of stuff.
Because that stuff's not good for your mental health. I feel like that's just the perfect formula for somebody to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
Daniel, on his first day of listening to his recordings, didn't feel right.
Didn't he start smelling burning stuff?
That's what he says. He's like, I smell burning shit, he said.
Yeah, that was it.
And I was just like, it's probably because something is actually burning. The pot could have been burning.
Yeah.
Something like that. He was mostly scared of his experience with watching The Exorcist back when he was like a kid. And it messed, like, that face, there was a face that would pop up and it would, like, freak him out. No, it was the Scary Maze game he played, I think it was. Do you know what the Scary Maze game is?
Like a plan that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It jumps out. Yeah, that face. I don't remember the specific story, but I know that he was, like, watching it one day. And I guess that scared him, and ever since then he's had that ingrained into it. No, he was watching an episode of Red vs. Blue. Like this thing on YouTube, Red vs. Blue, but it wasn't the actual Red vs. Blue, and I guess there was like a jump scare right after, and he was like eating cereal or something like that. Probably not, but I'm just imagining this how it happened, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And it scared the shit out of him. And I'm talking like Trump now. Ever since then, he's been, we watched The Exorcist about like 4 months ago, so until we watched The Exorcist again, he was scared about it.
Yeah.
He would.
I walked in. One night while he was watching The Exorcist. Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, it was you.
With the slime. Okay. She was bad.
But I walked in pretty much right at the beginning of the like main exorcism scene. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, all I could do was laugh. The scene was funny to me.
Yeah. Just
the voice didn't, like, to me was not matching with the body at all.
The slime.
The slime. Just what it was saying. I was just kind of like, this is hilarious.
The third film is way better. I'm not going to talk about the third film that much, but if you guys do like The Exorcist, and you haven't seen the third film, just go straight to the third one, skip the second one. I haven't really watched the second one. I watched reviews on it. I watched the footage. By the way, it has amazing visual effects though in the second one. Yes, I feel like most of the budget went to the visual effects. Looks great, but what is that going to do whenever there is no real good, plot?
Yeah.
I guess it's a good eye candy.
Effects can only take you so far.
They look cool. The third one had some cool effects too, but I don't think they were really on par for the second one. The second one, I think, takes you into hell.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't really remember. I didn't watch the second one. Didn't want to. We talked about it, but we never got to. Obviously, we just weren't interested into it. The third one was good though. Yeah, the Annalise Michelle one. We did that way back in April. The beginning of the.
It's been 7 months.
It's been 7 months since we did that one.
Wow.
It was late April though.
Yeah.
But it was basically the beginning of the pandemic.
November now.
It was the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah. So that's the craziest part. This podcast started in the wake of the pandemic, or not this one, but 𝗕𝗲𝗂𝗵𝘁 started in the beginning of the pandemic. Right before.
We started last year.
2019. Yeah. Yeah, but like December 20th.
Was it?
The first episode was either December 3rd. No, it was January 1st, 2020. You guys did New Year's, I believe.
I was out of town New Year's.
I don't know. It was the last week or the first week of January.
We might have done it right as I got back.
Yeah. That was a sports one.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember talking about that, and we brought up the rising like infection rates in China.
Just like, wow, we probably should keep an eye on that.
Yeah. And then like a month later, we were like, all right, and the U.S. has like 1,000 cases.
It was around Mothman when it officially hit.
Yeah.
That was a great episode. I loved the Mothman episode. That one definitely put Roswell under the shadow.
That put Roswell to shame.
Yeah, Roswell wasn't... That one was okay. That was the first one I appeared on. And Matt and me were first appeared on Mothman. Or not Mothman, Roswell. Roswell didn't have... So I always thought of Roswell might be like one of those ones that had the most information. Again...
There might have been more information at one point, but at this point it's 70 years old and there's only so much you can do with it.
I do believe it was air balloon. Or not air balloon, but like those tests.
Yeah.
I do believe it was those tests that they were doing because it just kind of matched up. But then again, we have no hardcore evidence in front of us, so we can only really just go off what people reported, the research and
all we can base it on is eyewitnesses and some, quite frankly, kind of shoddy reports.
And Daniel still believed it was aliens. And the Mothman one, that was iconic in my opinion. It wasn't that long ago. It was April 2. That one was the one right before Annalise, literally like a week or two before.
Yeah.
And that one was fun. That one was definitely fun. I think that was Matt's favorite.
Everyone did their research for that except me.
Well, you weren't the one that needed to do research for it.
I sat there, I asked my questions, I took some notes.
I wonder if Anthony will ever do a podcast episode again.
He's done the diabetes in the movies, right?
Yes, diabetes in movies. We've mentioned him many times before. Like, hey,
he's
guess
not
who isn't here? Anthony. Shout out to Anthony if you're listening to this.
Where are you?
You gonna do an episode?
Hashtag where
we'll have him on this show. We'll have him on this show if he wants. I don't care. We'll have Daniel on
We'll have him on Blue Room if he wants.
Really, Blue Room, honestly, because this isn't going to be a thing we do a lot. Yeah. But,
although if
we'll see
if this turns out well, we could probably do a couple video episodes of Blue Room.
Yeah, I don't see why not. This is the reason why we're doing what we're doing. It's because we want to
experiment, see how it all feels.
We want to integrate it to Blue Room eventually.
Especially the mics. We're going to hope these work out as well as they do.
Oh, yes, the mics. This is a huge upgrade. Obviously not mine. We're not going to go into what my mic is, but we're going to...
So we're not getting into that? Okay.
No, we're not going to get into that. Eventually, I'll upgrade my mic. Just not right now.
Yeah.
It's just good to have a mic. But we were using a phone. If people...
One phone in the middle of the table.
Assuming that if... We're probably not going to have a lot of Blue Room Insight listeners on this one, but assuming you do know what Blue Room Insight is, if we don't add it whenever we post this.
That is that is recorded on a Samsung Note 10 camera in the middle of a table.
Always has been.
Probably always will be.
I hope not. I hope that we can integrate this. I hope we can definitely integrate this into the 𝗕𝗲𝗵𝘁.
Because if nothing else...
Because honestly, what I want this show to eventually merge into 𝗕𝗲𝗵𝘁.
That is the end goal of this. Just take what we learn from this and merge the best parts.
Yes. It will just become one big,
happy
juicy
family
podcast. That's what I hope. Even this studio that we have here, even this, like, what we have going here.
Studio.
Yeah, it's just a studio. Even, like, what we have going on visually, we are going to try integrating it into 𝗕𝗲𝗵𝘁. Except being blue.
Yeah,
it will be probably blue.
This obviously limits the locations we can film in if we choose to do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
But the increased production quality should more than make up for any inconvenience it causes.
Correct.
Because if nothing else, we got mics here, which is going to, not sound terrible on car speakers.
That's what I brought up to you before.
Yeah.
That's the whole entire first thing I said about this is it hurts on the car speaker. Granted, I do have the bass all the way up. But that doesn't matter. It still sounds bad. I'm forced to turn it off because it sounds bad sometimes. I love the content, man. What can I say? The moon one was very informational.
I like the moon one.
It was just very straight to facts. We didn't need to really... The moon goes back to our thing about us filtering.
Yeah,
there was a lot about the moon that was just straight bad.
And we brought up quite a bit of it, but we also did our due diligence and brought up all of the official counterpoints to those conspiracies.
Even though I didn't talk that much in that one, I was really just kind of like what you were in Mothman at that time. So that was fun. Matt talked a bit too, but not really that much. You know what was fun, though, that we learned in the past, probably last week when it happened, something that recently that we discovered a new category on YouTube. I'll go ahead and start off with the backstory. We don't need to mention what it is quite yet. I do like listening to records. I'm not one that says like it necessarily sounds better than digital. I do like the sound of a record. I just like the physical sound of it. Even though just physically owning the album. I just like owning the album. If I love an album enough, I feel like I'm getting the whole package when I buy the album. Yeah. So sometimes I'll go to... Especially since some of them will just give you like a digital copy of the album when you buy it. Yeah, then it's like, why not? Because you're basically paying the same amount just for the physical and the digital. And sometimes you get a poster. Or they just give you like little gifts in the inside. Yeah. So sometimes I will go to places that sell records, and one day I was going to a secondhand store basically, or an antique shop called the Twice as Nice. No one's probably gonna know it, but hey, I call it what it is. I went there. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, I'm not telling the address though. I'm not showing that. I've already mentioned Jacksonville once. Went to Twice as Nice. I'm never really one to buy 45s. And if you don't know what a 45 is, because the truth is most people don't really know much about records, especially nowadays. Or maybe so, because they are growing in popularity. There's a 12-inch, which is that standard. It's great that we can... Well, to the ones that are listening to just the audio version, it's the basic one. It's the one that everybody thinks of. The nice big one. The nice big chunky little hole in the middle. Whereas a 45... And that's the one that'll have like the whole album on it front and back. Right, it's the whole album. Whereas a 45 is a single. So it's a small It's got the big literally hole almost in the size of a CD. Yeah. It's easier to hold, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. And it'll have an A-side, B-side, so you got the main single and then a little extra. Yeah. So I was never really one to buy singles, but I did find a little single thing, and I decided to buy like some. A buck a pop. Yeah. And if you're wondering why it's called a 45, it's because of the speed. It plays it. 45 was rotations per minute. Yeah. So I get home. No. Yeah, I get home. I bring it here. I am playing some of them. I'm playing it at the right speed though, 45. Yeah. And what was one of the songs? I'm playing "Family Man" by Hall & Oates. Just chilling out, listening to it. I'm just seeing how they sound. I just bought some of the ones. I really only bought them because I know the artist. I didn't really know much of the songs, so I just wanted to, hear them out. Played them on 45. The next day, I did pick up one for you. Yeah, that was crap. REO Speedwagon.
Yeah, it was. Oh boy.
Oh, I can't remember it myself.
This is gonna bug me.
This is bad.
Keep on loving you.
Keep on loving you. Okay, and then the backside.
Ooh,
I mean, it's right behind you, but
it is.
but you might as well just check it. It doesn't really matter though what the backside was.
Go to album. It was Follow My Heart.
All right. So anyway, for some reason the speed changed to 33. Were you like messing with the speed?
Yeah.
Okay, so the speed was at 33. One of the 45s I bought was Steve Miller Band's "Wish Upon a Star." Never heard that song before. Didn't know what to expect from it. The front side I did listen to the day before though, and that was "Jungle Love," which I know.
Yeah.
So I was playing.
And then he put on the
"Wish Upon a Star." And it was on 33, but I didn't know it was at 33, which 33 is slower than 45, so it's going to play at a much slower pace.
And it's not just going to slow it down; it's also going to pitch shift it.
Pitch it, yeah. The pitch changes. So I'm playing it, and it's going really slow. It sounds the song is already trippy by itself.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Steve Miller Band at all.
No, it's playing, and I'm just like, I kind of like it though. I'm just like, it
sounded pretty good.
I was like, it does sound really good, and I was like, yeah. It doesn't sound like Steve Miller Band, but I can dig it, you know? I can dig it. I'm like really living up to the type of format we were listening to.
Anyway.
Not proud. Anyway.
So the next day at work, we decided to...
Oh, no.
Oh, we're not done yet.
No, we're not done yet. Because I'm listening to it, and I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like Steve Miller. That sounds like...
That's right, it went on for a bit.
I was like, what's going on? So I go up to it, and I check it. It's at 33. I'm like, excuse me. That's not right. Now change it.
It sounds fine.
Sounds fine. Kind of disappointed. That's not the real song. This is the real song. Either way, I'm listening to it now. I do like "Wish Upon a Star." If you guys like trippy 70s songs, that's one to listen to. If you like "Fly Like an Eagle," that song is very similar to "Fly Like an Eagle." Same band. Shout out to 𝗕𝗲𝗂𝗵𝘁 too. That's a pretty good song too. Next day though,
we're at work and it just kind of pops into our head again that sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
So we get on YouTube and just decide to look up other 45s getting played at 33, and you know what? Most of them sound pretty good.
Yeah.
And a lot of them sound like some old black man just kind of like singing a soul.
Like a blues song.
Yeah.
A very, very... I just got like... I don't know why I had shivers right there. It sounded dirtier. Not because of the black man, of course, but because of the fact that it was just like...
Everything's
more raw.
Like we played Fortunate Son, and that sounded very groovy.
I noticed that when you slow it down to 33, it's a lot... The bass lines are a lot more groovy. Or you can just hear the textures in it.
Yeah. I'm actually going to play that one a bit.
Fortunate Son?
Yeah.
You can hear more of the bass lines. Superstition was a good example, though, of it.
Yeah, I'll do that one instead.
You can hear a lot more... just more of the texture and more of what they were doing with the song instead of it just being all sped up. But there's multiple channels where they do this method.
And if it will decide to play, come on. Sometime today, Junior.
Obviously, it's a record because you can hear all the popping. See, when I hear this song, I think of iRobot.
Is this song in iRobot? Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in a while.
I love that movie, man.
I love that movie,
it's
too.
It's a great movie. The last time I watched it was like back in 2008. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It came out in like 2003 though, didn't it?
But yeah, yeah, it was somewhere around there. But yeah, this is what we were talking about. Like, when it's slowed down like this, you can hear all the players going through it.
I enjoy it. The vocal part's not my favorite, but I like the instrumental.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when people slow down music and add reverb to it, like on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like those songs, and they add the anime GIF. By the way, is it GIF or GIF? It's GIF, isn't it?
I pronounce GIF.
I say GIF. Like
So you go peanut butter.
I go peanut butter.
And here is Fortunate Son.
It's completely different. It's Bad Day in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Pause that real quick. When are you gonna watch Tropic Thunder?
Ooh,
He has
So-
never seen Tropic Thunder, and whoever hasn't seen Tropic Thunder needs to watch it because it's one of the greatest movies of all time. Daniel's been trying to make you watch it.
I've got to watch it with Daniel.
Yeah.
His words and your words.
You gotta watch it with Daniel. Shit you not, for 3 weeks straight, we just were nothing but quoting Tropic Thunder.
Really?
Yeah.
Like during the summer?
No, probably not 3, but 2 weeks at least. Yeah, it was great. Mostly Robert Downey Jr., you know.
Who else is in that movie?
It's probably the only black. It's probably the last blackface you're gonna have, and probably should be. Yeah, but you know, I'm not gonna dive into that. Who else was in it?
Yeah.
Ben Stiller, Jack Black. What's his name? He's from. He's in Fast and the Furious. No, he's not. Actually, may I use your? Do you mind if I?
You need Google?
I need Google.
What you looking for? Oh, that's Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, just search up Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, 2008 film. Wait, that came out the same year as Iron Man?
It did. But it came out right before Iron Man. So people didn't know Iron Man.
Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise plays the agent.
Brandon T. Jackson.
Yeah.
Jay Baruchel?
Want me to see it?
It's the kid from like Magician's Apprentice. Or the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh, it is.
That's all I know.
I don't know why I said I didn't mean to say Fast and the Furious.
Danny McBride, Nick
yeah.
Nolte,
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey, Bill Hader, Tobey Maguire.
It has a really good cast.
Yeah, it does. I'm not recognizing names anymore, so okay. Cool.
It's gonna be a great movie. The only reason why I bring that up is because of the song.
Yeah.
You know. So when are you gonna watch it? Hey Daniel, you're listening to this right now, man.
If you've made it this far, we need to watch Tropic Thunder.
Yes. On whenever he's ready. He has the baby right now, so it's up to him.
Yep.
He's the one. It's on his time. When he gets the time.
It's up to you.
Yes. My throat is gone right now.
We could probably call it here. It's 1:15.
It's 1:15.
Yeah. We've been going at it for over an hour now.
It's been over an hour?
Yeah.
What?
Pretty sure we started like right at midnight.
Huh. Alright. Well. That's it.
I guess, yeah, we'll see you next on Blue Room.
Yeah, we'll go back to Blue Room. This was nice. And I hope to do it again very soon.
Yeah.
I know that I said that this won't be a recurring theme that much, but, you know, hey...
I hope it's recurring, just... We gotta change it up a bit.
Yeah, and, you know, for all we know, we can do this again literally next week. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But as of right now, no plans.
This is just a less strict schedule. We might do it more often, we might do it less often.
This follows Blue Room.
Yes.
Blue Room doesn't follow this.
Yes.
Yes. Blue Room is a little bit more scheduled. We plan ahead of Blue Room.
We got to do our research, make sure we're getting our facts
This
right.
is a free-form podcast. Like I said, podcast about nothing. This is a podcast. This is Seinfeld if it was a podcast. Probably not as good, though. No, not
We just
as good.
we just got to get Seinfeld on here. That'd get the viewers.
Fat chance.
Yeah, probably.
Not gonna get Seinfeld on here.
Well, that's probably it then.
It is. All right.
This has been Skipper.
This is Darius. This is Project Red.